Well, it's that time of year where it's cold and, wait, no it's not. It's like in the 60s outside. But as you see, I've got my favorite ugly Christmas sweater on, and I am going to share with you 5 easy make-ahead Christmas appetizers, and I cannot wait. So I picked 5 different ones. Some are old and very traditional for us, some are new and exciting, and they're for all skill levels, okay? They are for people with different skill levels. I will have some that are a little more difficult and some that are easy peasy. So if this interests you, this is the video for you. And y'all, I live in Texas and we are the home of Tex-Mex, so no holiday done right is without its salsa. So we are going to start with a holiday salsa and some very, very cute homemade chips. To start, I have my oven preheating at 350 and I have this massive bag of corn tortillas. We're just going to put about 4 out here, and this is a recipe I have not done, but I have definitely made my own tortilla chips. But y'all, the ingredients in this are just beautiful. So I've got these metal cookie cutters that have definitely seen better days, but should still work. I just don't know if they're going to go through 4 tortillas at a time, or if I'm going to have to do it one at a time. So we'll see how that goes. And I have gone through and picked out my cookie cutters. That way they fill up this tortilla the biggest that they can, so I have less to give to the chickens and more for us to have in chip size. Let's see. We got them all lined up. I'm going to just go for it. Ooh, that one went through good. That one did okay. Alright, now let's see if they made it through. I'm just going to push down as I pull the tortillas away so I can fill any pieces that might have gotten stuck further down at the bottom. Oh, one of them didn't for the candy canes. But how cool is that? Be able to pick it up and scoop your dip on this side with our little candy cane. And then our lovely wreaths. And then a holly leaf. So cute. And this won't go to waste. My chickens will absolutely love having this as a snack. And I'm going to just try to get this other candy cane cut through. There we go. Aren't they stinking cute? So I have this Silpat non-stick thing on here. I can link this below, and also I will be linking the recipes down below so you can have access to all of them as well. And you would have a greased pan to start, but since I have that non-stick on there, I am just going to use that and see how it works. And by the way, I will never ever recommend a product that I don't use myself and know that I loves. And here I'm just putting some pink Himalayan sea salt over all of these, and we're going to bake them in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. And I will be doing a ton more of these off camera. And let's get into making the salsa. To start, we need 1.5 cups of pomegranate seeds, and this is more like 1 cup. So I'm going to measure it. Ooh, 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to half this recipe for now. And the make ahead on this, well, they're both basically make ahead. You can make the salsa, I'd say, a day before. That way it has time to sit in the fridge and everybody meld together, and the flavor will be better the next day, I think. And then the chips, you can also do it a day or 2 ahead. Just keep them in an airtight container so they don't go stale. And so half of it is about 3/4, but you would go for 1.5 cups of pomegranate seeds. I chose not to go through and have to open up all that fruit because that's a lot of work, and if my fingers are all messy in it, I'm going to eat them because sister and I absolutely love pomegranate. Alright, we've got this red onion here. It says half a chopped red onion. Y'all, this is a Texas size red onion. So do they mean Texas size red onion, or do they mean those little bitty ones that we so often find in the store? I don't know. So use your best judgment here. I'm not going to use half of this red onion. I think that'd be way too much. So I'm going to probably use whatever that is. I'll chop it up and see. If I need to add more, that's great. If not, oh well. And right now we are pretty far out from Christmas. Well, far enough that I don't want to have too much of this made in advance. But this will be a great way for us to try the recipe, and I have a feeling we're going to love it. So then I can go ahead and probably double the recipe for our get-together. And I'll make it the day before as well, but you know, I want to make sure you guys have the option to make this for yourself as well. And I'm going to dice this pretty small, probably about the size of the pomegranate. And speaking of sister, she is at school today. And she picked the videos that she wanted to help out with and wasn't too bothered about making these. I think she's just more interested in eating these. So we're going to add that and move on to the next bit. And we love raw onion. We love all onions. Any and every onion. Alright, we added that. Now we need half to 1 jalapeno finely chopped. I have gloved up today for the jalapenos because I have some cuts on my hand and I do not want that juice in there. And we are definitely going to do half, maybe 3/4, because we do like spicy. But I'm going to do this 3/4, that way the bulk of all the seeds that we have will stay in there. There's less seeds the further you go down. I'm sorry, this is super awkward to try to get y'all to be able to see. I want y'all to be able to see everything, but we're just making things do around here. I really need to sharpen my knives. Alright, so we'll get that all thrown in as well. Well, y'all, this is why I grow my own produce. This is one of the jicamas I got from Walmart pickup order, and it might be the ugliest, grossest looking jicama, and I have just rinsed it off, but it just looks like if it don't get used like right now, in the next 3 minutes, it's just going to be rotten. So hopefully it is not rotten, because if it is, then we're not going to have any more. So I'm going to peel this and chop it, and you want to have about 3/4 cup of peeled and diced jicama to add to this. Oh y'all, this ain't no good. Look at that. Let's peel a little bit more and see. I don't know, do you think there's going to be anything good in here? That just looks horrid. Y'all, I'm gonna have to go up to Walmart to finish this. That stinks. I'm gonna peel it. I'm gonna peel it and put all the peels back in the bag. That way, if it doesn't look like I can use it, they can have it back, and I will go pick out my own. And we will just, oh yeah, there's just no way. See, that's what happens when you have convenience. You don't get to pick the best produce for yourself. So, I will let you know what the last little bit of this is and show you what the cookies look like. And then when I get back, we will finish this up. Alright, so once you add your jicama, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. And I'm going to add 1. And then you'd mix this all up. And it doesn't say anything about salt and pepper, but I would definitely taste this and then see if it needed salt and pepper. I think it might. So, I'll be back with you as soon as I have another jicama. Is your family a dip family? Our family is definitely a dip family, so I'm really looking forward to trying that salsa. And we've even made queso at Christmas. I think having a Mexican food Christmas would be great. We've done gumbo at Christmas. Let me know if your family is a dip family or not down in the comments. And speaking of dip, I might be adding this hummus in too. And if you're interested in seeing how you home can your own chickpeas, let me know that in the comments as well, and I'll be happy to show you guys how I have this ready to go to make quick, easy chickpeas that aren't from a tin can. I have found we absolutely love having the big jars of it to make a big batch of hummus or whatever, but now I need to do the little cans so we can use them for other projects and snacks and things, and you'll see why. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but these are a little bit browner than I would like, so don't be like me. And once your 12 minutes is up, don't throw it back in the oven and be like, oh, I'll just check it again in a minute, because it never happens. So these are nice and crispy now. Some of them puff up around the edges and they are stinking hot. But I think they are going to be so cute to go with our Christmas salsa. Alright, let's get on to the next project. Alright y'all, next up is a sweet and spicy snack mix. Our family, most of our family, loves spicy. There's a couple who don't. So this should be a huge hit. Everything in it is things we like. And this is also not a recipe that I've had before. And it's not something I've seen before. Seen similar things, but this looks really good and it's probably going to be the best since it's going to be homemade. So, like I was saying, I need to can some pints of chickpeas because this recipe calls for 1 cup of crunchy chickpeas. Well, I don't have anywhere around here that I can buy just crunchy chickpeas, so we're going to make them. I'm going to go drain and rinse these and show you how to get them prepared so you can make this recipe as well. Alright, I drained them as good as I could in the can, but we're going to put them out on the pan and we're just going to get some paper towels. If you want to use a rag, go ahead. And I'm just kind of rolling my hand and you'll see these skins coming off. So I'm going to pick most of these off and I'm going to get these super dry, trying to get whatever skins will loosen up off of there. And if they don't all come off, that's fine. It's no big deal. You just want them as dry as possible. And the idea is to put some sort of oil. You could drizzle them with olive oil or whatever kind of oil you prefer. But we want to get them oiled up. And then sprinkle them with salt. And then we're going to bake these in the oven. I don't know if I told y'all, but it's you want to have your oven preheated to 425, and you're going to bake these from 20 to 30 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. And I like to roll them around so everybody can pick up oil and salt, and then spread them out some more so they can crisp up. Okay, so while those are in the oven, I think we're going to start on the next one. And these are my husband's favorite. Y'all, he's from England. If you didn't know, that's where he originally is from. And so when you're in a different country, you miss foods from your home. And I have never been to England. So when I ended up meeting and marrying an Englishman, I really had never had any English food, so I had to figure it out. So this is one of those things I had to figure it out, and now I have to make them every year, especially at Christmas, and they are sausage rolls. Have you tried them? Have you had them? Do you love them? Well, the English like to eat it like room temperature or cold, and I eat them warm. Don't hate. If you're English, don't hate. That's just me. But it is a wonderful, wonderful appetizer. It's not really an appetizer. They will use sausage rolls as a meal and just have like side salad with it, something like that, to help cut the richness, because they are rich and delicious. Alright, let's do this. And this is only going to be one batch, and I have been asked to make 3 or 4 batches. And the make ahead on this is you can make them and stick them straight in the freezer and take them out, defrost whenever you need them. Okay, so this is for those who want to do a little bit more of scratch made appetizers. You can make this even easier and just use puff pastry. I have done that in the past, and it is just as good as this. But this is so easy, and this is so cheap to put this together. It's going to be a shortcut crust pastry, and please, if you've never made your own pastry crust before, give it a try. You'll see what I mean. It is just as simple as can be. And the recipe I have learned from, you use the scale to weigh out your ingredients, which is really good. You get a more accurate measurement when you're baking if you use your scale, which this is on kind of a squishy thing, so the scale isn't liking that. So we need to start just 8 ounces of regular all-purpose flour. So I went ahead and just took it off of that for now, because I want it to be super accurate. And make sure you put your bowl on first, and then tar or zero out your scale. That way it's not weighing your bowl. Alright, 8 ounces on the nose. Okay, next you're going to need either shortening or lard. I'm using the Crisco's butter flavored vegetable shortening, and we will need 2 ounces of that. Perfect. And I'm just going to add this straight to the flour, because we have one more thing we need to weigh out. Alright, next it calls for margarine. I always use butter, so I just like to get it cut into like tablespoon size pads as I'm adding it in there. Perfect. Now this goes straight into the bowl with the lard and the flour. Alright, so you know it's done when it looks like coarse sand. You will have some bigger chunks, and that's okay. But you just want it to look like a coarse sand at this point, with a few bits that are bigger. You really just don't want to overdo this step and get your butter to start melting. It takes about 2, maybe 3 minutes. Alright, now I've got a cup with some ice water in it, and we're going to add probably 2 tablespoons of just the water, not the ice, to begin with. If you're not in an area that gets a lot of humidity, then you can start with 3. And I don't know what our humidity level is at, so I'm going to start with 1 less so I don't over add water. It's easier to add than it is to take out. And I just got my fork, and I'm going to just start mixing all of that water in together. Okay, I'm going to add the next tablespoon. No ice. And once you see it starts to really come together, then you can get in there with your hands, See how this side, there's not many crumbs. This side has a lot more crumbs. We're just going to keep stirring this together and it will eventually come together. Alright, that's looking pretty good. So let's see if it'll come together into a ball. So most of it does. This little bit is trying not to stay together. So I am literally just going to put a couple more drops in there. You don't want to add but maybe another half a teaspoon. Another half a tablespoon, sorry. You don't want to add any more than that. So see, now this is all going to be sticky. And we can get it to stick in with this. And form your ball. Make sure those guys stick. But yeah, that is just, you know, so easy. Just a few minutes of work and it is perfect. I'll go around and collect all these little extra bits and get them stuffed in. Now we're going to wrap this with saran wrap and we're going to put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes so it can rest. Alright, so to start the filling you need ground pork and not seasoned either. I have seen people substitute breakfast sausage in this and I'm sure that's delicious, but that does not taste as traditional as he wants it. So we season our own pork and it's super easy. And that is 1.5 pounds of pork. The recipe calls for 1 pound. Recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of ground white pepper. I just use black pepper. And we're going to do our 2 teaspoons. And then do a bit more since we have 1.5 pounds. And then we need 1 teaspoon of mace. Y'all, I never have mace. I don't think I would use it in anything else, and I've never put it in here, and he's always really liked it. So I always skip that. And now we need 1 teaspoon of rubbing sage. So I will be doing about 1.5. Now I need 1 teaspoon of ginger. And again, I'm going to do about half as well. And then you need nutmeg, and that is a 1/4 teaspoon for that. And again, I'll do 1.5. Well, there we go. And then we're just going to get in there with our hands and make sure all the ingredients. Ooh, did we do salt? I don't think I did, y'all. Can't forget the salt. 1 teaspoon of salt. I thought it looked a little dark. So there's about 1, and there's about half. Y'all don't forget the salt, because this is not seasoned pork, remember? So we're just going to get in here with our hands and mix it all the way through, and then I'm going to put it covered in the fridge. That way it's sitting there waiting for me when my pastry is ready to be rolled out and put together with this lovely filling in it. Our lovely roasted crunchy chickpeas are out of the oven, and now we can put together our spicy and sweet snack mix. So there is a spice in this recipe that I don't have, never even heard of it. And I don't like to buy a lot of spices that I don't use often, so they just sit there and do nothing for years and years and years. So I find substitutions. So you'll see what I do instead of using this, and we're going to prepare that now. Now don't get me wrong, I love getting and testing out other spices and stuff, and I might end up getting this, but for now, no way, no how. For jalapeno pepper. And y'all, my earring just fell out and hit my recipe. So, let me fix that and I'll be right back. Alright, now all jewelry is accounted for. That's the last thing you want to find in your food. We've preheated the oven to 325. And we need to have a lightly greased rimmed baking sheet, which we already have since we had to make our own chickpeas. And we're going to get this jalapeno pepper ready for us, and instead you could use ancho powder, which I also don't have, or we're going to use red pepper, some cumin, and a little salt, and we're going to mix all that together in the mortar and pestle. And we need 2 teaspoons of this jalapeno powder. Whatever. I don't know. It's spelled A-L-E-P-P-O. So if you know what that is or you use it, please let me know down in the comments how it is pronounced. And bonus, what you do with it. So I did 1.5-ish teaspoons of the crushed red pepper. And now I'm going to do like half a teaspoon-ish. Maybe a little less of the ground cumin, and then the rest we're going to put the salt. Now this recipe also calls for salt, so we're going to remember that we put in salt here for our substitution and also not over salt it. So I'm going to just grind this all together, see if I can get those pepper flakes to grind up a little bit more. Alright, that for the most part did grind together pretty well. If you have a spice grinder, use that. Or just buy the seasonings you need. Alright, let's do the next step. In our saucepan, I've added about 3 tablespoons of butter. And now we're going to add 1/4 cup of honey. And I absolutely love buying local honey, but for recipes that we cook, I just get cheap honey because it will kill all the lovely bacterias and beneficial things in the honey if you heat it. So there is no point in using super fantastic honey and things like this. Save that for when you're eating it raw. Next up is possibly the most expensive ingredient I have in this house. That's right, I still have some sriracha, and I'm trying to like really use it sparingly because I'm not paying $20 or $30 a bottle. That's just crazy, y'all. But I'm really tempted to try to make it myself, so let me know if you're interested in seeing how that's made. It looks super easy, and I really like making things myself. And we need to do 1.5 teaspoons. So did you see that? I just made it a giant heaping teaspoon of the sriracha, and we absolutely love this stuff. I think this might be my absolute favorite hot sauce, and it was before the sriracha craze happened. I've been loving this stuff for years and years and years, and you know, 2020 did some crazy things, including the sriracha shortage, which if you haven't seen is really interesting as to why the sriracha is having a shortage. Alright, now for the most mispronounced ingredient I have in this house. This is not Worcestershire sauce, if you're from Texas like me, or rooster sauce, as a friend of mine lovingly calls it. Worcestershire is how you say it. And it's really funny because the English, I think, cringe really badly when we say Worcestershire. But it's just fun to say, isn't it? Worcestershire. Say it with me. Worcestershire. But yes, I do comply and now call it Worcestershire sauce because it's fun now too. Alright, now we're going to add the whole contents of what we made before, which should be right about what we needed. Now I need 1 teaspoon of onion powder. Yes, it's clumpy, but we're just going to roll with it. And it calls for half a teaspoon of garlic powder, but if you've been following along, that always means double it to me. So I'll do 1 teaspoon. And then we also need half a teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. This is fresh ground black pepper. I just grind it myself. And I don't keep it in the mill. Ooh. I just grind it up how I want it. And then put it back in this container. Now we're gonna heat this up in a medium saucepan over probably medium heat for now. And hopefully those onion will go ahead and chillax in there. And we are just stirring this until it's nice and warm and all of our butter has melted. Just want to show you why I'm waiting for this. Another substitution I'm doing for this is the lemon zest. It will call for that later on, which I don't keep lemons. I do keep lime juice, but I don't want to buy lemons just to zest it and then do what with a naked lemon. So I dehydrated this Buddha hand and made it shelf stable, and I just went through and ground that up, and I'm going to put this in here now. That way it can warm up and soften a little bit. But everything in here is going to be super crunchy, so I think this will add the perfect amount of citrus kick that we're looking for. Alright y'all, so our butter is just about melted, and this recipe calls for those crunchy little sesame sticks. These things. Nobody around here locally sells that. So I ordered these. I ordered these off of Amazon, and I'll link it below. They smell delicious. So next we want to add in 1 cup of those sesame sticks and 1 cup of mixed roasted nuts. Well, this has everything. This has nuts, seeds, and everything. So I'm just going to add 2 cups of this lovely mix. And they do not smell like highly seasoned. That would be a problem if they were already highly seasoned. I got the plainest looking ones I could find. And we also need 1 cup of our crunchy chickpeas to go in, which I'm happy to say is exactly 1 can that we cooked earlier. Now we're going to mix all this together and get it coated. I'm going to just turn off my heat. And I did taste the sauce while it was melting, and I think this is going to be a winner. Crunchy with the perfect amount of spicy. So we're going to put this back out on our baking sheet, and then we're going to bake it about 14 to 16 minutes And we'll mix it about halfway through. We'll just go in and stir it all up. Y'all don't mind my stove. We are making great things today. And once I get done, I'll clean up in just a little bit because it's getting a little cluttered. So I have this little bowl and we're going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then it calls for kosher salt and 1 teaspoon for that as well. But I'm keeping in mind that I added salt earlier, so I'm probably going to do about half a teaspoon, which would, the other half a teaspoon was already in there. And if you aren't using Buddha's hand, which y'all, I just got sriracha all over me, but if you aren't using Buddha's hand, which probably none of you will, this is where you would also put 2 teaspoons of lemon zest in here and then mix it all up. And that right there is half the reason I do close-up shots for you guys, because I'm just throwing things everywhere out of my way. And plus I want you to be able to see, this house does not have great natural lighting, so we have to use false lighting. But we are going to go through and get everybody put up and out the way. Stay. Find a new place for that one. I'm going to keep these ingredients out along with my black pepper because, no, I'm not. I was going to get the other sausage rolls going, but I'm pretty sure the kids put those in the deep freezer, so that ain't going to do much good for me, is it? Now I need to find somewhere to put these guys, but that probably is 3 cups, so I could probably make another 1.5 batches of that stuff if I can hide it. Because my people will want to eat it. Don't need this. Don't need this. And we still have one more, but I haven't ran out to the store yet. I've been just cooking along with you guys, wishing that some magical fairy would deliver what I need, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to put our lovely salsa in the fridge. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to leave it out because I'm going to make myself finish up with you guys, and then I'm going to dreadfully go to the grocery store. And I got this bowl ready for the chickens. They're going to love that. I will need in a few. Maybe that. Probably not that. And that is not spick and span that I use. That's just a bottle that I put Steramine in, which is a food safe sanitizer. And it comes as a little tablet. I'll have to show you guys one day when I refill it. It's super easy, super cheap, food safe. And I think we're just going to throw all of this on the floor and sweep up later on, because my hands are wet and I just don't want all this powdery stuff going in my hand. I'm going to tell you what else I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and make a triple batch of that short crust pastry that we made for the sausage rolls. And I'm going to wrap them up in the saran wrap just like I did for the fridge and throw them in like an airtight container and pop them out in the freezer. That way they are ready to go, and all I have to do is thaw them and roll them out, and I'll show you the rest because it's about time. Alright, all of these are lovely and toasted and very fragrant. And I've got my cinnamon sugar, not cinnamon sugar, that would be interesting. I've got my salt and sugar mixture, and we're just going to sprinkle it around as best we can. And then we're going to stir it. I'm trying to do this one-handed because I'm in the middle of making that extra short crust pastry. It's also a great way to make that ahead. Have that short crust pastry already ready. If you don't want to make the full thing ahead and just freeze your pastry. Especially if you're making one already, make a couple extra to throw in the freezer. That way they're ready whenever you need them. And then you only have the dishes to wash once. Now we need to completely let these cool because they are going to be absolutely too hot to taste right now. Alright, so I did end up getting the other 3 short crust pastries done, wrapped up, and put away. I guess we can test this out. And I am back from Walmart, y'all. I just did the refund through the app, and it just refunded. It didn't say to bring in that rotten jicama. And $56 later, I'm back from Walmart, and I still don't have any jicama. So I wish the person who picked out my order would have just said not available. That way I could have ran 20 minutes away and picked up some jicama over the weekend. But now we're stuck with the substitution again, which is okay, I guess, but I really wanted to try it the right way. So I'll just take note of that and make sure I pick up some more jicama before Christmas. That way I can have this made a day or two in advance with actual jicama. Let's see. This is our lovely little snack mix that we made. Not too sweet, not too spicy. I would probably add double the sriracha to kick up that heat a little bit if you like spicy. Everybody's gonna love this. It's not too hot for the ones that don't like hot. Not too sweet for the ones that don't want too sweet of a treat. Perfect. Alright, let's get the rest of this stuff. I gotta unpack and we will finish everything up. Okay, I got them packed up into this container, and I'm just gonna leave these for Christmas. We only have a couple more weeks, so they'll be fine, an airtight container until then. And they do kind of clump together, so if you like them like that, leave them like that. But I'm gonna just put them in here and shake it to break it up into smaller clumps. And these are very Moorish. Very, very Moorish. So I am going to make another double batch of these later on. Don't know if I said, but I'll insert a picture as to why I didn't come home with the jicama. I looked up some substitution. Green apple is a substitute. Daikon radish, turnips, things like that for fresh. And rutabaga for if you're doing a soup or a stew. I chose to do green apple because I know everybody likes those, and we're going to try a turnip raw and see if we want to put that in its place as well and just mix apple and turnip. So our family loves turnip, but I have never had it raw. So I'm going to make a little slice of this and we'll taste it raw. Wish me luck. Have you had raw turnips? Do you like it? It's not bad. Not bad at all. So, I think if I think I'm going to do a blend. Raw turnip kind of tastes like a very, very mild radish. And it's got a perfect crunch like the jicama. So we're going to mix the two together so we can get some heat, some sweet, and a lot of crunch for our salsa.
The main ways that we use turnip is just chopped and cubed and then roasted with other root vegetables, and the family really likes that. I'm not even going to peel this, but we're going to chop it into tiny dices as well. And the recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of jicama. So as long as I can get about a cup. Speaking of, I have a cup measurer somewhere. I don't know where it's ran off to. There it is. We'll just put that there so we can see when we've about got what we need. And I'm aiming for between a 1/4 and an 1/8 of an inch on these slices, because we want all the pieces to be about the same size like you would have just in a regular tomato style salsa. That way everything can fit in a bite on your chip. Alright, so that is about 1/2 cup of the turnip. And I know we halved this, but there's not going to be any harm adding this extra stuff. This is kind of like the backbone of my salsa, so I think it will be just fine. And if you want to peel these, you go right ahead. I think it's going to add neat colors, and the pomegranate seeds are probably going to stain everything a similar color anyway. So I am just not going to worry about it. And I definitely plan on growing a heck of a lot more jicama. This year was my first year to actually get everything to germinate and grow to where I actually harvested them. I know I've put out some either shorts or videos. I'll try to remember to link those below of our little harvest that we got this year, where you can see what actual lovely jicama looks like. And it's also a great substitute if you're doing low or no carb. If you want to make French fries, absolutely perfect for that. This apple my daughter will eat when she gets home from school. This with the rest of the turnips, because it comes in a bag of 4, we will roast up as part of our dinner tonight. And this is just looking very, very beautiful. And with the extra green on the green apple, it's even more green and red. Well, at least at the moment. We'll have to see if the skins maintain their color. And I am going to go ahead and try this with one of the tortilla chips that we made earlier, and that way I can see if we need to add any salt or pepper. And as this sits in the fridge, more of the liquids will seep out. Just keep stirring it. But look how pretty it is. Never fails. My cabinets are always open. Cheers. Wow. Wow. Yo, that is amazing. Yes, please. Okay, that's all I gotta say. A little bit of the pepper taste, but the lovely crunch. Everything's crunchy and fresh and bright, and there's a bit of the apple. I can't tell what that one is. And this is, yes. Yes. So if you can't get a hold of jicama, I like this blend of flavors. Oh, if you like pomegranate and you like salsa, try this. Okay, I have got my dough out of the fridge, and it has been in there for quite a while. You know, Walmart escapades and that. So I'm just going to flour out dust my counter with flour. Alright, that looks pretty good. And this is straight out of the fridge. Ooh, and I have my oven on 400 degrees preheating. Y'all, it's almost that time. My honey's gonna be home very, very soon. And he is going to be very excited that these are gonna be here for him. It is very cold. So I'm actually going to let it sit here and warm up just for a few minutes because I don't want it to be ripping apart and keep having to squish it together. And I am going to flour my roller. And we'll give it just a minute to come up to room temp. I don't want it to get too warm. Alright, so this is having more time to come up to temp. We want to get this, I believe it's a 12 by 9 inch rectangle. And anytime it cracks like that, I am just going to squish it back. Because that's fine, it's not going to hurt anything. Alright, that's about right. And I'd say it's probably 1/4 of an inch thick, in case you need to know that to understand. Just get a little bit over here. Okay, so now we're going to take our meat and we're going to just grab a handful and then we're going to start rolling it into like sausage logs. And I'd say probably about an inch thick is what I usually aim for. Maybe a little bit bigger. And we have that much left. Oh, that's right. It was 1.5 pounds. I forget. I usually do 2 of these. So I have 3 pounds. Then I can make 3 batches of this. So I need to remember that. I'm probably going to need to make some more short crust. I can't remember how many extras of this sausage I bought. Alright. We're just going to carefully lift this. If it gets stuck, use a butter knife. Or a knife. And just kind of help it lift so you can drape it over this way. And now I have just a tiny splash of milk in this dish, and we're going to just go along this edge, and that will help our dough to seal up. I should have put a little bit more flour. That or I let my dough sit a little too long, but honestly, it's not going to make any difference. It's all just going to taste fantastic. Now this side, I don't know if you can see, has a tiny bit extra of dough, and I just kind of move it. These are rustic. I am no professional baker, but I can make really good food at home. So it might be a little crumbly, but you want crumbly, flaky dough for this. Alright, we're going to take this milk and brush over this as well, and that's going to help it brown up. And the rest of that meat I'm just going to put up until I make a bunch of these, and then that meat can go along with that, what I have going on here. Okay, I like to make them, I'd say about an inch to cut, and then it looks like that inside. And this one already has cuts, but I'm going to just put a little slit right now. But I pack these so full. Every person who makes these makes them different. And I've seen all sorts and sizes, shapes when I'm watching English content. And I just like to pop a few holes in the top. Well, that one's a little small, but it'll work. That one's got a little hole there. So I just make little slices along the top. Alright, there's what they look like. They're going to go into the oven. I don't remember. 20 to 25 minutes. Hubby's home, so he's going to try the salsa.
Pomegranate.
You like it? I was supposed to have jicama in there. And we had jicama on the order, but it was moldy. So I went to go get a new one. And they're all moldy up there.
Ooh.
So that is green apple and turnip as a substitute.
Oh, you can't even tell.
Uh-huh. Alright, so you want to try this?
Yeah.
Sweet and spicy snack mix. Are you a little tired?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it?
Very nice.
Can you taste the sweet and the spicy?
Yeah.
Just wait, it's going to be very Moorish. Gotta go hide it. Alright, y'all, so next up is bacon wrapped dates. And I've never had them. They sound delicious and look super fancy. So I have my cookie sheet in the oven right now.
You're my date and you look tasty.
And the other one is dirty. And I don't want to wash it because it's got sticky candy stuff on it. So we'll prep the dates and get them ready. That way they can move along, and we still have one more to do after this. Okay, so for this recipe, we needed pitted dates, but I got substituted for dates that have pits. And I've never had those before, so I went through and saw that it was quite easy to get that date out of there, well, the date pit out. And I just kind of cut top to bottom and then cracked it open, revealing the pit. So it's not difficult, it's just, you know, convenience of not having to go through this step. Do you like dates? Me and my husband love them. But I don't know if sister does. This should be interesting to see if sister likes this. This is more of a fancier flavor, which she does like a lot of different flavors, so we'll have to see. Oh, I should have kept filming. This one is definitely disgusting. When I cut into it, it went poof that way. And I just can't tell if you can see. There's just like mushroom. Like when the mushrooms pop their spores, it's like that. Just fine, fine dust inside. Disgusting. Y'all, these things are too expensive to be having bad ones. And feeding things like that to our worm bin. So, I hope I don't find any more like that. And why are dates so expensive? I know they grow on date palms. Maybe it's from where they come? I don't really know. But these I think are Californian, yeah. These are Californian. And I do have some sort of palm tree. I can't even remember what it is now that I'm trying to grow up. I really should stick it in the ground. It'd probably grow faster. That way we can try and substitute the fruit that it gives for things like this. And maybe preserve the fruit like this later on. So I think that will be very interesting. This one's weird. Weird. Oh yeah. Look, it's got that Funkalicious powdery stuff in it too. No bueno. I wonder if we can grow that. I have a problem, y'all. When I find seeds, I'm always like, will they grow? I don't know the process of making dates. I feel like it's just sugar. So I'm gonna put those back in here and figure that out later. But if you know, if they're heated, then it's not gonna work. So we'll figure that out. Alright, now that all the pits are out, we're going to stuff them with blue cheese. And I don't know how best to do this, so I'm going to just go in with my fingers and add little bits at a time. Just like that. And the recipe that I looked at, I'll try to link that one below, was like, don't be tempted to overstuff. Yeah, I'm that person. I'm very tempted to try to overstuff. And now we're going to have extra lovely blue cheese. I think everybody in my family loves it. Y'all, what the heck is on my hands? I just washed them too. I don't even know. Let me go try to wash them again. Whatever it is, it's still trying to stay on there. I have no idea. You know what though? That's kind of my norm. I get filthy even if I'm not doing dirty things. And that's okay, because we can clean it up. Okay, I'll finish these up and I'll bring you back as soon as we can do more of the steps for this. I forgot I have these little pans, which, if you don't know, I have no idea where they came from. So we're going to try to get this done in this, so we're not getting behind. So I have half a pack of thick cut bacon. I used the rest of it last night in my roasted Brussels sprouts. And oh y'all, let me know if y'all want to have that recipe, because it turned everybody who doesn't like Brussels sprouts into people who like Brussels sprouts, aka my husband for sure. My daughter literally asked for them, and we can just absolutely eat so many Brussels sprouts cooked that way. So this is thick cut bacon. You can use the regular, that would be fine. It'd probably be better actually. It's actually going to take both of my little pans like this, because I have 16 dates and this is 8 pieces of bacon. So I'm going to get that one set up and we're going to get them in the oven and we're going to par cook these before we wrap our lovely dates. Okay, so next up we have our completely not from scratch but store assisted appetizer, and it is definitely going to be a crowd pleaser for all ages, and it looks so easy. I've never done it before, but how can you go wrong with these ingredients? And sometimes you need help from the store, and that's okay. You can't always do scratch, that's fine too. You do you. No, sister, the candy cane shapes in the back are not cookies. So she's home from school, so let's let her have a taste of some things. Hi, sister. I'm gonna prepare her a bite and not let her look at it, and just let her try it. Try. Just a blind test. Ooh. What was that? You like?
I don't know.
Sure. Have a look. Isn't it pretty? All green and red? Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Grab another one. So yeah, I'm going to be making more chips as soon as I'm done with my one pan. Sister, we need you to unload the dishwasher because Mama's made a mess.
Is that an apple?
It is. It's green apple because it's supposed to have jicama.
What's
but
that?
That's jalapeno.
There's jalapenos in there. I didn't even realize.
Jalapenos. Wow, that was a big scoop. Okay, sister approved. Okay, up next is a sweet and spicy snack mix for sister. And she looks very unsure.
What do I do?
You eat it. I mean, literally.
Why is there like clumps in it?
Just pick whatever you think looks good and put it in your mouth. Don't touch it all, jeez.
Oh, that's good. It tastes like the stuff from Dollar Tree.
I think it tastes better than the stuff from Dollar Tree.
Like actually that snack mix is really good.
They kind of remind me of the snack mixes you can get in the Indian markets.
This reminds me of the stuff that you get from Dollar Tree, but the stuff from Dollar Tree is really good.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Y'all, Daddy don't know what just came out the oven. Alright, I got this super spiffy molds. I actually got a nice size pack with I think 4 or 5 of them in it ages ago off of Amazon. And they have been through the ringer and I have loved every single one of them. So I'll try to remember to link that below. We're just going to pop 2 tater tots, and this is the mini muffin pan I'm using. Per little hole.
OMG, this beef jerky stuff is so good.
You like it? Okay, so that was about half a 32-ounce bag, maybe a little less than half. So we're going to make these to test them out and try them. I don't know how these would freeze. I guess you could do this step and the next step and then freeze that, and then you would definitely have make ahead and then just fill them after you've defrosted them. I think that would work really good. Alright, y'all, tater tots in the oven. We're going to cook them about 10 minutes. Our bacon is out, partially cooked. We got to let that cool a little while so we can touch it and wrap our dates. Alright, so I believe that these are cool enough to work with. So it's literally a wrap, and stab where you get both pieces. Just like that. And then we're going to bake these a few more minutes until the bacon is fully cooked. Again, wrap, stab it through. Just like that. Alright, here's what they look like all wrapped up, except I'm missing one piece of bacon. So it'll be fine. We're going to bake these up until the bacon is fully cooked and nice and crispy. Probably about 5 to 8 more minutes. Our lovely tater tots are done. And you can use a shot glass and some spray. Just spray the bottom of your shot glass. And then you want to squish it.
Yeah.
That way it forms a little cup. Ooh, y'all, these look absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait. They're gonna cool down and we are going to taste test. Alright, now these are out of the oven after they baked about 15 minutes, and now we are going to add about a tablespoon, teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever you can get. You see, liberally applying the cheese. And then we're going to pop it back in the oven for about 5 minutes to let our cheese melt. And this is white cheddar. It's just something I already had pre-frozen in the freezer for convenience. But you can use whatever cheese you want. Jalapeno, like some sort of pepper jack would be really good to spice it up a little bit. While that melts in the oven, I just ran out to the garden And got some green onions. And I'm going to just snippy them into the bowl. So they are ready for us. Just as soon as this comes out. And any extra you have, just throw it in a freezer bag in your freezer. And then that's perfect for adding to any hot dishes. Oh yeah, the cheese is all nice and melty and gooey. We're going to let these rest for about 5 minutes. I was just thinking these would be great for football parties or any sort of party really. I think these are going to be an amazing crowd pleaser. Alright, they got to cool and I put them on our little serving tray. And I bought this squirty outer type of sour cream, which I never ever buy because I can scoop my own sour cream. But I thought this would make it just look prettier. Because y'all know, or y'all might know, my piping bag is kaput, so I'm waiting for another reusable one to come in the mail. So pretty. Now we also have real bacon bits. And that we're just going to sprinkle those on. Are you hovering?
No.
Y'all, he's found. He's found out that those sausage rolls are over there. And he's... You could not. You could smell from work. Oh, geez, y'all. If you give me just a couple of minutes, you can try them. Alright, now we're going to add our green onions. Oh, and by the way, I looked at a recipe for this and it says to go ahead, if you want to make a head, do it all the way until you've melted your cheese and then you can stick them in the fridge. I personally think you could also freeze them at that stage, and that way you just cook them straight from frozen. We're going to throw them all on there. We like onions. Straight from frozen, and then you just top them. So what an easy way to have an appetizer. Okay, I sure hope y'all like this thumbnail because it is hilarious trying to get my tall self down here with the food to show y'all what y'all are going to watch. I'm 5'9" and a half, and these cabinets are not tall enough for me. But anyway, I can't keep these people at bay anymore. They are hounding and hassling and ready to try some of this food. So let's go get them. What do y'all want to try first out of these two?
That plate.
No, you try that last. You know what they taste like.
That plate.
No. Okay, sister. Here, Daddy, you take that one. And I keep getting black stuff on my hand and I don't really know what it's from.
We can try it.
Our lovely, delicious bacon wrap dates. Whenever y'all ready. 1, 2, 3, go. Daddy, the top of your head's missing.
It's kind of perfect for me.
Daddy, what you think?
They're very sticky.
It is sticky, but it's lovely. It's like bacon candy with a little zing from the blue cheese.
Oh, it is blue cheese. I thought you said cheddar. I was saying it's pretty strong for cheddar.
Next. Go ahead. This is what has cheddar.
You can barely taste the dates.
It all kind of just makes it like bacon candy, huh?
I don't really like that.
I figured you
Good.
wouldn't. It'd be, I said earlier it'd be interesting. Alright, our little loaded Tater Tot Cups. Jeez! You didn't even wait? Y'all didn't even wait for me?
So bad.
Duh. We need a taller tripod.
It's for short people.
Can I have another one of those?
What, sister?
Can I have another one of these?
I guess. Alright.
They say they don't taste like potato tots.
Now what you've been waiting for.
Oh no.
It tastes like a baked potato.
Like a loaded
I
baked
told
potato.
Jamie she better cook about another 16 dozen of those. For me, and then some for you.
Just a couple.
Okay.
Okay, our lovely, lovely sausage rolls.
It's cold. It needs to be warmed up as well.
Cold.
Warm. Y'all, I'm trying to fix this camera and he's over there eating it as fast as he can so he can have another one.
I almost choked. Good Lord, now we're going to get our step stool.
Okay, so sister, you're team hot for sausage roll.
Yeah.
So am I, or at least warm.
Cold
All right,
or
Kat.
anything, really.
Huh?
Can I finish it there?
Of course you can, my love.
You guys need to hurry up. Hurry up.
Learn patience, my dear.
Oh.
Savor it. Mmm.
Dad, don't.
What are you doing?
Can I have one of the small ones?
Yeah. Okay, what's y'all's favorite?
This.
Oh, she gets one. I'll get another one.
What is this?
These baked potato things. Dad was like, that's not fair.
Yeah. How rude.
Of course you can have another one, honey. Daddy already know your favorites are sausage rolls, right?
Yes. That stuff's good though. I do like that date thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
It's more of a grown-up taste. Even though she usually has a very broad
I don't really
palate.
like blue cheese.
Well, the blue cheese is a lot more tame since it's been baked. How about this pastry? I made the short crust for you instead of just getting puff pastry.
I know I like those. This stuff is good. I like these two. These are my favorite.
I think the dogs know we're eating sausage roll. Y'all, these are very, very crumbly. But our cleanup crew is taking care of that for us. You like mom video days? Now I don't have to cook.
I want to try this.
Go for it. I guess we're gonna stand in here and taste test until we're full and don't need to have any dinner. Sound about right? He's gonna walk off with that tray in a minute as soon as I turn off this camera. That's why I haven't turned it off. This is mine. You love it? Did you expect it to be that good? I didn't either. I'm super surprised with that salsa. It is on point. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for hanging out with us, testing out, trying out the new recipes, and then sharing the ones that are loved by all of our family. And anyone who gets the chance to try them absolutely loves them. American, English, whatever nationality they are, always ends up loving them as well. And they freeze perfectly. So if you like these kind of Christmas cook and bake type videos or whatever I can think of to cook and bake for you guys, then please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this with somebody who might need to know some appetizers for Christmas. And I thank you for everything you're doing. Our channel is growing leaps and bounds, and we can't do it without you. Until the next time, love you, bye-bye. And you're crooked.
Don't choke. Hey, if you choke, you're gonna have the rest of the stuff in your hand.
Then, now what was that, sister?
Oh, I already had one. Another one of these.
Oh, okay.